season change if you tan? What about when you age and your hair turns gray? Short answer, no, it does not. I'll explain it in a minute. Hi, I'm Michaela, and in this channel, I share everything about seasonal color analysis, personal image, and style. In this video, I'm going to answer the most frequent questions I get in the comments and some others you have submitted. But before getting into it, it doesn't matter how much you learn about your color season and body type. If you don't complement that with smelling great, it's like your outfit is not complete. Having said that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Scentbird. I started a relationship with Scentbird a couple of months ago and I loved it, so I'm really excited to share the sponsor with you. Scentbird is a monthly perfume subscription. Scentbird lets you choose a new designer fragrance to try every month for just $17. Every month you get to pick what you want to receive, so there are no surprises. They have perfumes and colognes and a lot of unisex options. With each fragrance, you'll get a 30-day supply, so you can try out fragrances before committing to a full-size bottle. We all know that those could be really expensive, costing from $100 to $500. You can discover new fragrances by taking a simple quiz on Scentbird, and based on your preferences, previous purchases, and quiz answers, they'll help you to find the fragrance you'll love. Scentbird carries Prada, Gucci, Versace, and niche brands like Skylar, Heretic, and Confessions of a Rebel. Make sure to use my coupon code Michaela for 55% off at Scentbird. That would make it just a little over $7 for your first month. I personally think that's a great deal. Here in California, you can maybe buy a coffee with that much. It's available both in the US and Canada. This month, I got these 3 fragrances, and I'm sorry if I butcher the names. Catherine Malandrino Unconquered, Michelle Germain au Germain, French Oak and Sage Imperiale, and Skylar Salt Air. I personally love the Skylar Salt Air. The fragrance is driftwood, sea salt, and seaweed. It has a fresh scent to it. It reminds me of a beach day, but in a mature way. It's a very mature and sophisticated scent. I really like this one. It's probably my favorite of the 3, but I'm surprised how well they nailed the 3 fragrances. I really like all 3, and I've been using them around this month, but I honestly use the Skylar one the most, and I will show you how the bottle works. You can see here, this is how it works. You twist, and then you can just spray. If you see, it comes with enough perfume for a whole month. I've almost used up this one. As you can see, I told you that this one was my favorite. I'll show you this one so you can more or less see the quantity. I did use it a couple times, I think 2 or 3 times. I also think this is a perfect size for traveling or just putting in your bag so you always smell great throughout the day. It's very practical. Okay, thank you, Scentbird. Moving on to the questions. First question is, does your season change if you tan? I see this question quite often, or I see comments where people express that they're one season in the summer when they're tan and another in the winter when they're lighter. The short answer is no. You don't change seasons when you tan. Your season will remain the same throughout the whole year and throughout all the seasons. Think of your season as like the core of your colors. Your dimensions throughout your life will definitely change, like your hair may gray, etc., but not your core. What happens when you tan is the following. Your contrast level lowers. Still, it's not enough to change your overall appearance. What I do see, especially in the seasons that are on the neutral side, or a cold season that is sister of a warm season, is that sometimes a tan can add an appearance of warmth. But if you're a dark winter, for example, your sister season is dark autumn. When you tan, it can give the appearance of being warmer and slightly more muted. This can cause confusion on your season and overall appearance. When you tan, in some cases, you'll be able to add or borrow a couple more colors from your warmer sister season. That though is a case-by-case basis, and it's not too common. It's very individual to your personal colors, so I wouldn't be able to give general advice on it. What I can say is the undertone of your skin, no matter how dark of a tan you get, will never change. If you're cool, even neutral cool, you will always look best in cooler colors. The second question is it possible to be in between seasons? The full question was, is it possible to be between two seasons? I relate to both dark winter and dark autumn. Yes, the seasonal color wheel is more of a spectrum. We're individually unique and everyone will fit every season in a different way. Although also sometimes we'll fit the season perfectly. There are so many colors in nature, there are so many possibilities. You could be very much in between one season and the other. That's why I usually say to not worry if you don't fit into a season exactly. What matters is that your overall appearance fits that season. What you can do is try to identify yourself into one season using the color dimensions. The 6 color aspects, which are warm, cool, bright, muted, dark, and light, should guide you well for what colors to wear, even if you can't figure out what your season is exactly. Third question, am I supposed to blend into the colors or contrast it in a striking way? You are supposed to blend into the colors. Like I said in a previous video called The Colors That You Wear Change the Way You Look, you can watch that video for more in-depth analysis of what I am saying now. But when we look at you, we want to resemble nature, which will be pleasant and easy for the eye. We want your face to stand out and not your clothes or makeup to be the first thing that we see. So when you wear the right colors, you will look in harmony and balanced. Fourth question, what is the easiest way to figure out if I am warm or cool? Well, I also have made a video for skin undertone. The silver and gold light from fabrics is a test that, from my personal experience, works really well. The test is reflecting silver and golden light onto your face. So I have my gold and silver fabrics right here. So what you want to do with these fabrics is stand in front of a natural light source with no direct sunlight and try to reflect the light of, in this case, the silver fabric onto your face. Your face has to be with no makeup on, and also your hair as pulled back as possible away from your face, so we can try to see every single detail of your face. And you're going to focus the light reflection on your face. I can't really see what I'm doing right now, but I hope that this is proper. You're going to do this in front of a mirror too, so you can actually see. A good window with natural light, maybe the light in the morning, but not direct sunlight on your face, and also not golden hour, because that will give you already a gold light on your face. So you're going to take this, you're going to reflect it, and then you're going to focus on your imperfections. You're going to do this with both fabrics and compare like I'm doing right now. I hope this shows on camera a little bit. I can't really see if the light is reflecting properly. If gold flatters you most, then you're a warm undertone, and if the silver flatters you most, then you are a cool undertone. You want to also focus on the imperfections of your skin and the whites of your eye. So whichever light makes your eye, the white of your eye, look brighter or whiter, that's the light that is good for you. That's the one that's going to flatter your skin the most, and that would be your color temperature or undertone. And then you can also focus on, if you have blemishes, you can focus on the wrinkles, like expression lines, on crow's feet, nasolabial folds, and any other little details you might have. If you have blemishes, a red blemish, I get hyperpigmentation on my face. So when I wear gold, it's really noticeable, or very warm color, it's really noticeable too. But also, silver is not the coldest color. So if you are a very neutral undertone, you might get a little bit confused. It's really hard sometimes for certain undertones to determine it with silver, because it's not the coldest color. It's really not equivalent to gold. Gold is a really, really warm color. So if you look good in gold, I mean, you probably are warm, because nobody really, unless you're a warm undertone, nobody really looks good in gold, in my opinion. But if you're very neutral, if you're neutral warm, silver could also look good on you, so it would be a little bit confusing. What you can use instead are other colors. So when I can't tell if somebody is warm or cool, I also use these two colors, which I think would be helpful for you to figure out too. When I struggle, I usually find these two to be very helpful. I use a peach pink or a coral, a light coral, and then a pure pink like this. That's a bit too bright. I think there you can tell a little bit more. This would be for warm and this would be for cool. So if you are warm, a peach color will look good on you. I'm a cool undertone. So you can see in comparison to this pink. Here is a better example that I filmed on my phone, so you can see the difference between the two. There are also other colors you can use, like yellow. If you look good with yellow, I find that yellow is very determining for warm undertones, because every time I encounter a cool undertone person, they stay away from yellow and they don't really have any yellow in their closet. If you lean to buy a lot of yellow, I always think that people kind of know that yellow looks good on them. If you tend to buy a lot of yellow, you might be warm. So these two colors are also pretty good when trying to figure out undertone. So again, orange is a very, very warm color. So if you tend to buy a lot of orange or think that you look really good in orange and it makes you glow, you are probably warm undertone. And then with a magenta, cool undertones look really good in magenta. And if you're a bright winter, you're gonna look really good in this color. But also, if you're a bright spring, you could also probably pull this color off and look really good in it. But that's why if you're a bright spring, for example, you're gonna put orange, and if orange looks good on you, then you can determine that you're definitely a bright spring, because bright winter will not look good in bright orange or in a pure orange or in any orange at all. But bright spring can probably pull these two colors off pretty well. Okay, next question that I get a lot. How to distinguish or set apart neighboring seasons if both seem fit? We have stated before that the seasonal color chart is a spectrum. But if you're trying to figure out your season and you're just getting started and you haven't trained your eye enough yet to tell, a great indicator is to figure out your skin undertone first and your primary characteristic. So I just went over a little bit on how to determine your skin undertone with a plethora of different colors. And your primary characteristic can either be your skin undertone, which is warm or cool, or it could be any of the other color aspects, bright or muted, dark or light. I would suggest to start simple and not overcomplicate it too much. Try on clothes that have the main colors of the two seasons you're in between, and try to see how you feel and look in them. Ask other people, take photos, and try to analyze your face with that color on you. Figure out your color aspects one at a time. Don't try to figure it out all at once, because it may be very overwhelming for you. Also, if the 12 seasons are a little bit too overwhelming or too much for you, I would suggest to just start with the 4 seasons. So how you determine if you're either winter, autumn, spring, or summer. First of all, like I said before, finding your skin undertone, so either cool or warm, that will already reduce the seasons into 2. So if you're warm, you'll be either autumn or spring, and if you're cold, you'll be either summer or winter. So then trying to figure out your contrast is also a really good indicator. So if you have contrast, it'll be a winter or autumn, and if you don't have contrast or a lower contrast, you'll be in spring or summer. With the exception with bright spring, but that's when things get a little bit more complicated, of course. But at the same time, As long as you're in your season, somewhere in your season. So for example, if you think that you are a spring, but you can't tell which of the 3 springs you are, as long as you're wearing the colors that are in the spring palette, you'll probably do fine. I hope this helps. I will keep making videos to try to help everybody figure out their season and how to apply color analysis to your personal image. Next question is, I am a winter, but I like the summer palette colors. Is sticking within a cool palette or warm for warm toned people still helpful? And yes, I get this question a lot too. What if I don't like my color seasons? Well, that can happen. Personal preference and style is different to your personal image. That's why there's a difference between personal stylists and image consultants. But I'm not going to get into that right now. If you don't like your color seasons and you have a personal preference for other colors, but still want to look your best, there's 2 color aspects that I think you should follow. They will still be helpful to at least create some harmony and not stray away too much from your natural colors. I stated this before, but I'll go a little bit more in depth. The first thing is following your skin undertone or skin temperature, which is either cool or warm. We talked about this multiple times throughout this video. Staying true to your skin undertone helps a lot. Even though they may not be your best colors, they will not look completely off as they respect your skin temperature. The second thing, and that is very, very important, and I'm definitely gonna make a separate video on contrast and value, which are not the same thing. It's a little bit more harder to follow if you don't like your seasonal colors, but it is to respect your contrast level. If your contrast level is low, wearing low contrasting colors will look more harmonious. The same goes for medium contrast and high contrast. You can determine your contrast level by taking a picture of yourself in good lighting without any makeup on and putting a black and white filter on it. Make sure that the black and white filter is true and doesn't make the blacks darker and the whites lighter, because this will confuse it. And also be careful with sepia filters or filters that add a lot of gray, which can take away the contrast. In general, if your eyes and eyebrows are much, much darker than your skin, no matter what your ethnicity is, you have high contrast. If your features seem to blend together, you have low contrast. If you have any more questions, follow me on Instagram and submit them there. I will keep making these Q&A videos. Check out my other videos for more in-depth information about seasonal color analysis. And once again, thank you Scentbird for partnering with me on this video. Don't forget to check out the links below. See you on my next video. Ciao.